It's very hard to tell the average person about this sort of experience. People look at you sideways and think you've lost the plot or something, so...
Oh yes, I definitely saw something that I could not explain.
It was damned real, and we both know exactly what we saw, and it was just mind-boggling, you know, and to be privy to something like that, in some ways I feel very lucky, but in other ways it's just upset my whole equilibrium. Yeah, well, on that night we couldn't sleep. We were awake, and about 3 o'clock in the morning I said, let's go down the beach for a walk. And so we drove down here, this car park here, and just walked down about 50 metres down the beach here, and I was looking at the sky and I said to Irene, can you see that light up there in the sky? It was different colours and it was sort of acting a bit strange looking. And so we stood at the shoreline and we watched it travel at what I call star height up in the sky, and it did a big arc. After about a minute or so it got vertical offshore up here, and we're watching it, and the next minute, bang! It didn't slowly come down. It was about 100 metres offshore, 200 metres high, and it was huge. It was 1 or 2 house sizes at least, and it had like flashing lights along the bottom, and one light would flash at a time till it made its way around the craft. The top half of the craft looked as though it was fading in and out like it was in a fog, and there was this intensely bright white light that shone down.
And it just moved across and came quite close, and moving across, and it kept on doing the same thing with the lights. And every time the lights went across, the big flash would come down into the water.
I said to Irene, I said, can you see that? And she said, yes, I can. And I said, it's got to be a military drone, a top secret drone, or a police vehicle. And then it was, no, hell no, that's a UFO.
I'm not a believer in aliens, but I know what I saw. So, in my own little mind, I was making up theories about what it possibly could have been. And I guess I was still kind of mesmerised.
We just stared at it, and I watched the lights flash one sequence along the bottom of the thing, and then that was it, bang.
The next thing I remember, I'm in the car with Keith, and we're back at his place, and the sun's coming up.
I felt like I'd been hypnotised, or was in a haze of some sort, and sort of walking like a zombie. And we drove home speechless, and we virtually didn't talk. Yeah, it's literally blown me away, my belief basis about the universe and everything now is just, I don't know what to think anymore. It's opened up a total can of worms. But it was there, it was real, and we both saw it, and it's the most amazing thing in my life. Two people don't see the same hallucination. If we were hallucinating, we would have saw different things, because I have a psychiatric nursing background. We both saw exactly the same thing and felt the same things.
Me and Keith hadn't known each other for very long at that time, but when we did actually start talking about what happened, we realised that we'd both been feeling quite depressed, and we started to talk about it and compare notes and even draw pictures, and that's when he really decided that he wanted to know more. Me, I was quite happy to live in denial.
Thank God, I don't feel as though it was something malevolent or benevolent, but I want to know more. I want to know what the purpose was, and what was going on, and is it going to happen again, or has it happened before?
And now I want you now just to focus on your eyelids and just allow your eyelids to become so loose, so limp, so lazy.
When clients come to me, they're mainly consisting of weight loss clients, stop smoking, phobia, especially fear of flying, or nail biting clients. But every now and then I get clients who come in for something a little bit different.
And 1, 2, 3, eyes open.
Depending on the client that comes in, I'll use a wide variety of different techniques to get them into that wonderful, relaxed state. And I ask them the questions that they want to know. We're accessing the subconscious mind, the bigger part of them that knows, the bigger part of them that understands, and we're bringing that part through to the conscious mind. It's almost like pieces of a puzzle to a dream. And when you've got all the pieces of the puzzle, the dream then becomes clear.
And I would like the subconscious mind to go back to the time, back to the event that occurred at 3 a.m. at Milford Beach. So what's in front of you?
A big craft, bright craft.
What does it look like?
Coloured lights flashing around the bottom, and it's sort of a half faded in, half faded out.
Superconscious mind, you inside or outside at this time?
Inside.
As you look around the inside of the environment, are you inside a room?
A big room, sort of white on the floor, table or something.
Are you alone in this room or with others, superconscious mind?
Feeling that there's some other presence. With this faceless, humanoid sort of short being. I can't see any eyes or facial features. Just a round head, arms and a skinny neck.
Superconscious mind, you're on a table at this time, yes or no?
Yes.
Superconscious mind, at the time, was there anything inserted into Keith's brain at the time, or mind? Yes or no?
I think there was information.
Now, superconscious mind, can you emerge Keith with all the questions that have been answered here today validated for the conscious mind?
It's a strange emotion. I don't know where that came from.
You know, since the age of 5, I can remember going into the library and getting books out on rockets and spaceships, and you know, I'm a science person. I had a home lab at home. I used to build rockets, and I'd fashion them, you know, on the Apollo things with wings on them, you know, so that they spin as they take off. And my intense interest in space and science does make me wonder if there is some connection, but yeah, I'm not sure. My dad saw a UFO and his partner when I was young, and I thought, oh, Dad's cracked, he's lost it, you know, been drinking too much or something. But so maybe, I don't know, who knows. Obviously he wasn't cracked, because I've seen the most amazing thing. 3 weeks later, I said to Irene, here, you draw on this side what you think you saw. So she drew this thing with the lights flashing out, and I drew this one, which you can see that the brick sort of shaped lights that flashed along was something like red, white and orange, or some colours, I can't make it out. And the top part of the craft here, it was like in a fog. It was like if it was Star Trek, you know, it's coming from another dimension, but it sounds corny, but that's the only way I can describe it. It was exactly like what you would see on TV, you know, a classic UFO, what's been fed to us on movies and stuff. And as I say, the lights flashed one by one, slowly across there. By the time it got to the other side of the thing, lights out, you know, I knew something wasn't right inside me. It was, you know, something had taken control of me. Well, it was sort of like a white cold neon light almost, the lighting inside there. And the table, or whatever it was, the platform, you couldn't see legs or anything. It was just off the floor, like so high. And the entity was just sort of to my left, just standing there, little pink creature.